What up, y'all? It's your boy Logan Chapman. Today on Blanco Ln, I'm gonna be taking one sample and I'm gonna flip it into 3 different beats. All right, I'm gonna show y'all using Rx8. That's that new magic. That's that new sauce. We're here in the makeshift studio right now. In case you didn't know, Hurricane Laura came and fucked everything up in my area. I've been bouncing from house to house, you know, trying to figure out where I'm gonna stay. And I'm back in Blanco Ln. This is what we got right now. Still gotta move all my regular stuff in, but we gonna make it happen. Let's go. Alright, so I'm gonna show you how to separate a sample. Like, you bring a sample in, you can extract just stems, you can have just the instruments, just the vocals, and this leads to some pretty cool creations if you're creative enough. Alright. So the plugin that we're gonna use is gonna be Rx8 by Izotope. And what it does, you just add it onto a track. We're going to use Tefflon Saga Gather Dust. I'm not going to play it due to copyright restrictions, but all you do is you add the WAV file, and you're going to add Rx8. It's going to say waiting to play audio. And you're going to just play the audio, and it's going to be creating the stems. It takes 3 to 5 minutes sometimes, maybe even sooner. So we'll fast forward and see when that gets done. Alright, now that that's done, it's going to bring you up to a screen like this. It's going to have your vocals, your bass, your percussion, which is your hi-hats and drums, and other, which is your instruments. Okay, so when you play it back, it's going to sound normal, watch. Okay, I'm not going to play too much of it for copyright. Okay, so let's say you want to take the bass out, you want to take the percussion out, and the instruments out, and now you're just stuck with the vocals. Pretty cool. So now you got the acapella. You can use that for vocal chops, vocal atmosphere. So what I'll do is bounce out the full track as a WAV file, and it's just the acapella. Now next, what I would do is I'm going to add just the instruments. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'll bounce the track out with that. So then I'll have 2 different stems. I'll have it separated with instruments and the vocals. And next we're going to get into how you can use that to flip it into beats. All right, y'all check it out. All right, y'all, so beat 1. First thing I did was I opened Serato sample and loaded the instruments that I extracted from the song, put it in there, pitched it up by 7, and played around with the chops, and this is the chop that I came up with. Cool. So then I wanted to add some piano to it. So I used Labs piano, and I used Lab strings and added this. Cool. So where the real magic is in the acapella Serato sample, I added the acapella in here, chopped it up, pitched it up by 7, of course, again, because that's the key of the song, and this is what I came up with. All together, that sounds like this. Cool, so as you can see, you can come up with some pretty cool ideas that you couldn't do from sampling it regular. It's pretty cool to take out the stems and see what kind of creativity you can come up with. So now I pitched it down, added some drums, did all kind of things, and now I'm going to show you the beat. Cool. So that's beat 1. Let's move on to beat 2. All right, y'all. Beat 2. Did the same thing. Brought in the instruments, Serato sample, set my key, played around with the transpose till I came up with something I like, -4. Created some different chops, and this is what it is. All right, now I'm gonna play it for you from the bounce because sometimes Serato sample doesn't say the exact chop, so I always get in the habit of bouncing it down before I say the project so it don't fuck up. And luckily, on this project, it did fuck up, so this is what it sounds like. The instruments. All right, and so this is what I did with the acapella. Cool. All right, so then later on in the course, I pitched it up another octave, the acapella, and I played around with the chops, and I got this other atmosphere. So you hear it's pretty good vibe, pretty good ambience, sounds good, and now I'm gonna play what I got to it with the drums. Cool. So now you see, you can use the same sample and come up with 2 totally different things. But now I'm going to show you that I flipped it 3 times. All right, so let's go on to beat 3. All right, so here we are, beat 3. Now I'm going to break this beat a little bit down a little bit more because it's a lot more complex. It's more of an EDM drop type beat, future bass. So I'm gonna break it down. You know what we did first? Added Serato sample, brought in the instruments, chopped it up. This is the chop I came up with. Cool. All right, so here's the acapella that I chopped up. I think it's one of these. So completely different. 3 different beats out of the same sample, extracting the stems like that, and I got 3 totally different sounding tracks. All right, so let's dive into the production more on this one. All right, so I wanted to go with some more up-tempo kind of future bass. Here's the drums that I did. All together. Cool. I really like that, and I knew that I wanted to go into like some EDM drop. So let's go into the build up. So all I did was I took that same vocal chop that I had and I pitched it up. and then I added a side chain, I distorted it, and this is what you got. Played around, found some more atmosphere in the vocals, and I got this. All right, so then I played the chords out in Serum, and I automated the low pass filter to come up gradually with time. Typical build, you know. Let's see what I did with the drums on the build up right here. Cool, so that's the build. Let's go into the drop. Kept the vocals the same, played the chords out with Serum, created this patch. Added, I came up with this little lead. Kept the same drums, added an 808. Added this harder snare with more reverb to give it more pop. And kept the vocal. Alright y'all, so that's how you flip the same sample 3 times using RX8. Once you extract the samples, there's no limits on your creativity. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something. I hope that y'all gonna use RX8 also, because it's a powerful tool, man. Especially when you're on a block, man, there's just no limits to your creativity. So I'm gonna ride out and I'm gonna let y'all listen to the drop of the beat 3 that we just did. Until next time, y'all, it's your boy Logan Chapman. Thank you for tuning in, and I'm out.